You are listening to Mining Stock Education, where you'll learn from the top leaders in the natural resource sector and uncover quality mining investment opportunities.
This permit was big for Tier 1 as we knew that we had something special at Curibaya. And the permit allows us to not only expand our drilling, continue drilling, but it expands our boundaries at Curibaya. It allows us to incorporate that Cambaya zone that hosts our best channel samples, our best rock samples to date. Really, when we sent down these two world-renowned consultants in February to conduct site visits, they came back and said, Cambaya is your number one target.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Bill Powers, and today I'm joined with Peter Dembicki. He is the CEO and president of Tier 1 Silver, as well as the senior vice president of exploration, Christian Rios. Gentlemen, welcome back onto the show. It has been a few months, I believe, since we last spoke. And Peter, you have now your DIA, which is your permit that allows you to continue to drill at your flagship Curibaya project. This was a while in coming, but it's significant for the future of the company. Can you walk us through what this permit will allow you to do, please?
Sure, Bill. Yeah, this permit was big for Tier 1 as we knew that we had something special at Curibaya. And the permit allows us to not only expand our drilling, continue drilling, but it expands our boundaries at Curibaya. It allows us to incorporate that Cambaya zone that hosts our best channel samples, our best rock samples to date. Really, when we sent down these two world-renowned consultants in February to conduct site visits, they came back and said, Cambaya is your number one target. And I believe I've expressed this on our show before. It has that 500-600 more meters of elevation, which means 500-600 more meters of preserved precious metal target to go after. And so while we're waiting for the permit to come in, we had geologists up there working on it, channel sampling, rock sampling, kind of figuring it out. But now that permit is in, it's great because not only does it give us the next leg of opportunity, it shows what Christian and his team down in Peru are able to do, navigating the government and getting that permit in on an expedited fashion, showing that Peru really is game on. And even though the headline news may tell you different with some of the hostilities of some of the larger producing mines, it's business as usual for us explorers, and it's just a great thing for Tier 1 to go after this Cambaya zone as well.
As you know, especially in a depressed junior mining market, investors are really concerned about permits. So now that you have this permit, we're looking at, at least 18 months of drilling you can do with this, right?
Yeah. It gives us a big time horizon. And not only that, it gives us a lot more possible holes per pad. If people were following the story on our first permit, which is called an FTA that we had in place before, it allows us for 2 holes per pad, which is really the definition of a needle in a haystack when you're separating your holes by 500 meters spacing or sometimes even a kilometer. So the fact that we're allowed up to 10 holes per pad, that's 200 more possible holes we can get after. That is huge. That allows us to be very aggressive. And if we start hitting on one pad, we can really fan out those drill holes and go after it in an aggressive manner.
Christian, can you speak to what you've been doing, whether it be desktop work or field work at Curibaya, to prepare yourself to determine where your next targets will be?
Yeah, for sure, Bill. Well, we've been in the field doing work starting in June. So we are doing at the moment mapping, sampling, trenching. We did 20 trenches. We have at the moment 300 samples. We sent 154 samples to the lab, and we will have the results of those 154 samples this week or next one. And the second batch we just sent last week, and we will have those results, I would say, in the next 4 weeks approximately. So new results are coming this week or next one from our first batch. And also in the trenching that we are focusing Cambaya 1 and Cambaya 2, there are 2 corridors. Cambaya is now in Cambaya 1 and 2. So we are finding the structures up to 20 meters. That's very important. And also we are sampling those. We will see the results soon. And in Cambaya 2, also we're seeing structures up to 10 meters. So we have 2 main corridors, 2 main structures. And with those widths is very interesting because it's getting wider. And this area the vertical potential is more than in the area drilled before. Also, the sampling that we had, the result that we had last year are better samples, and we will confirm those with the new results that are coming. Also, we've been talking with the CSMT group, geophysics, and the plan is to start the mobilization the 3rd week of August. So we have mapping, sampling, trenching, also the geophysics arranged to start soon. So we're advancing, progressing that in the field.
And your hurricane project, you're at work at that project as well, right?
Yes. Also in hurricane, we've been focusing Magdalena structures. That's in the southern part. And that we have the access from the community. And we sampled there 150 samples. We sent also to the lab. We will have results soon. I will say in the next 2-3 weeks. And now we move to the northern area, which is the nickel copper area, San Cipriano, Ñañohuayco. We just finished Ñañohuayco 10 days of the first pass. We saw the chargeability anomalies that had the previous group there. All the rocks that we're finding there, the meta sediments, we're finding new intrusives, also the ozone that they drill are with disseminated pyrite. We will see the samples, the results that we get in the next 3-4 weeks. And we are defining there is a strong potential in exploration there, but the area is covered 60-70%. So geophysics here will be a good tool to explore in this area.
Christian, are you noticing, has there been an increase in or decrease in lab time between when you give them the core and they give you the results? Has that been speeding up over the past year?
I would say the speed is, we can see that a little, not much. Before pre-COVID times, it took maybe 21 days, 23 days, the results. Now it's taking 40 days approx. But last year was a little bit more, maybe around 50 days, in cases 60 days. So it's increasing the speed a little bit more. Yeah, we hope it's going to be better when we drill Curibaya.
Peter, when you put together a drill plan, obviously you have to look at your money and then you have to look at the prospectivity. So can you maybe talk us through a little bit of your philosophy as an executive as you're looking at the bank account and also what Christian is presenting you geophysically and all the data you're receiving?
Yeah, Bill, good question. And it really ties into really market conditions as well, right? Because the livelihood of any junior exploration company comes down to the ability to raise capital, even if the project shows everything that is showing to go after, we have to be able to go and raise money to do it. So in order for that to happen, the capital markets have to be in position to support us there. And so, we just came off a private placement where we raised 6.1 million Canadian on our own in a private placement. And that was a real testament to the group, to Ivan, to myself, to everyone that supported us in the capital markets, and really to our current shareholder base who provided about 85% of that raise. So when looking at the treasury and saying, okay, how are we going to attack this? We're being super methodical in everything that we're doing. Last drill program around silver was at $30 an ounce. Everyone was just throwing money at any kind of prospect that we could come up with. And, we, in our first raise that we did, where we raised 13.5 million before we even listed, we had an order book of 30-40 million. And, we took what we thought we could use at the time, thinking that, okay, if silver stays around this area, but no one really projected silver to go all the way down to $17 an ounce. So now that we've had a nice little bounce off the bottom, we're still very, very cautious in what we're spending. So yeah, keeping a real eye on treasury, and we're not going to really go a huge aggressive drill program until Christian and the group, we come back and analyze all these channel samples, and to make sure that we have 20 really solid targets at Curibaya to go after in the silver, and also after the geophysics that we're conducting for the porphyry target, to really ensure that it's within scope to go after. Only then will we put together the full scope of the drill program to go after. And if we need to top up treasury in order to really go test it, we'll do it. But again, everything relies on market conditions. So it's it doesn't really matter these days how great your project is. If the market's not there, the money probably won't be either. So we're being very, very prudent. We're cutting everything that we can at every corner to ensure that every dollar is being used, really wisely.
So you came from the brokerage side of the business. So you talk to people like me all day, investor psychology, the emotional swings we go through. You've been swimming upstream since you listed, with the silver price going from $30 down to $18. So how have you consoled or talked through some of the concerns or frustrations of tier one silver investors because of the share price selling off?
Yeah, that's great, Bill. And I'm still really close to a lot of my old broker colleagues at Canaccord and other firms. So my heart went out to them, April, May, June, when it was really, really bleak out there. And I guess the difference being here at Tier 1 is, dealing with shareholders. if you compare them to clients, well, as a broker, you're probably 200 plus clients. And if you're a transactional broker, maybe you're following, 70, 75 plus different stories. So you have to be a quasi expert in each one of those, whether it be, banks, financials, insurers, healthcare, tech, and mining. But here, having one story to follow and to really, to be in love with, I was able to kind of not have that pit in my stomach that I did as a broker, because as a broker, you're looking into the abyss. The market movements and the velocity of money is, going to determine how you act and how you manage money for clients, which is really important. But for us, knowing that our project had only gotten exponentially better since we started, and nothing has changed, right? Those metals in the ground, whether it be silver, gold, copper, or at Hurricane, the base, battery metals that we've encountered, those have been there for 50 plus million years. It's people above ground that screw everything up, right? And so knowing that the project is there and the project is quality really kept me at ease. And regardless of what my parents have told me or the other guys, we're not special. Every other company is going through something really similar, from the majors all the way down to the junior exploration companies on a relative basis. And so, if silver or gold or copper were at, all-time highs and really tearing, but tier one still wasn't achieving that, then yeah, there's obviously cause for concern. Why aren't you guys taking part in this wave, right? So really the shareholders have been fantastic. They call in, they ask for project updates, what they're seeing, has it gotten any better, any different? The political stuff has always been headline because, is that the reason why we're down? And you go, no, look at the price of silver and look at our comps, look at our peers, look at the majors. Everything has come down in a significant way. But I think those comments from the Fed the other week really lend to these rate hikes, maybe not stopping, but not being as aggressive. And I think this is going to be so good for precious metals. I really do think it's going to be the catalyst to take it to the next level. And as we approach, another political headwind with the midterm elections too, I think it'll have a lot of play, all in favor of precious metals. So I think the setup is great for us. And I know we always, when we believe in something so much, we look for everything that, is in our favor. But really it's been, I think, a good setup for us here, and shareholders have been absolutely fantastic, because tier one shareholders are really smart and intelligent as well. And they understand the project is legit. And so they're being patient, and I couldn't ask for a better support system here.
And then, Peter, in conclusion, the next data that investors should look for would be the channel samples, I believe, and then announcing your drill program at Curibaya.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so we'll have channel samples, rock samples coming out of Curibaya or Cambaya zones, which will, if you can connect the dots, figure out our new targets, couple that with the channel samples that we had gotten previously through our exploration in 2021, and then obviously results coming out of Hurricane. What do these incredible copper, nickel, cobalt, platinum, palladium numbers mean? Where are you going to go with this? How are you going to go about targeting it, and what's the next phase up there? And then, of course, rolling out the drill program and getting that drill to ground. And the part that we all live for is to get drilling, and that's the key. So look for news, as Christian said, coming out over the next 4 to 5 weeks. I'll never put a time on it, Bill, but it's going to come, and we'll be screaming from the rooftop when it is time. But it looks like it's going to be a really busy fall, and you're going to be hearing a lot from us, and it's really exciting.
Company's website is tier1silver.com, ticker symbol TSLV in Toronto and TSLVF in the States. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on the show and providing this update.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.